Hello humans online, I just wanted to make a little video while I cut up this cantaloupe I got from the garden because I've been thinking and I just wanted to talk out loud and this is my excuse to do it, right? I think it's really hard as an American to not become disillusioned with the way things are going. It's really hard to even feel happy when you know that there's concentration camps that are locking people up. It almost feels like you ought to feel guilty if you're happy at this point. And while I feel that, I also know too that I spent a long time being depressed over things outside of my control, and it really just only made me more depressed. And so I know that I ought not feel guilty for my own happiness. This doesn't take away the feeling that I should be too. So, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to touch base with other people in case there's other people feeling this way too. Like, I really idealistically don't think anyone ever ought to feel, ashamed of their happiness or guilty for their happiness unless it comes at the price of someone else's happiness. But it is hard, and I just want to validate other people out there that are experiencing this toughness, Sure, I really want to just be able to get lost in my own beautiful little world, growing fruits and vegetables and raising a child and making art. But there's also families being torn apart every single day here, normal citizens being turned into bounty hunters at the behest of the government, a whole slew of Nazi regime-esque laws going into effect and being proposed, and it's scary. And to deny that it's scary, well, it really doesn't help us either. I think part of living in times like this is having to reconcile two truths that don't seem like they could go together, but they do. That you're responsible for your own happiness while being unable to control the rest of the world, and we do still have a voice to speak out against these disgusting things happening. I think even when our government tries to censor us, even as they make rules on TikTok about not being allowed to dislike rich people on the platform, it's still our duty to keep talking about it. And obviously you have to find that balance because, like I said, I spent a long time feeling absolutely suicidally depressed over the state of the world, and it didn't do good for me or anyone else, You can't help someone when you're dead, right? And then, I feel selfish about wanting to just exit out of it all rather than face it. But I think it's okay to recognize the horrors of the world and still try to do the best you can with what's in your control, And it's hard. It's really hard to do those things at the same time, I think. But it's the best answer I've found so far. And I just kind of wanted to share that with people. A lot of us are not happy with everything going on. I mean, there's alligator Auschwitz in Florida. Our government was talking about literally feeding people to alligators, and we're like, it's not even, there's so much insanity and absurdity, it's not even newsworthy anymore when they say some outlandish, ridiculous thing that would, in previous years, lead to people not being part of the government. Not even being a free person in the United States. But now we just let felons and rapists run our country openly, with knowing what they've done. No one cares enough to change it. Well, let me rephrase that. No one in power cares enough to change it. I think a lot of us without power care so much that we could change it tenfold if we had any modicum of power, but we don't. But maybe that's the lie too. Maybe they just want us to believe that we don't have that power, that we have to play by their silly rules, that we have to follow their systems. And the truth is that we have the numbers. We could really do whatever we want, but they don't want us organizing, and they have put in a lot of work to make sure that we don't all agree on the same things that matter. We're all fighting amongst ourselves, so we can't fight the real enemy. And I know everyone knows this, but it's still working. We're still separated, we're still divided, and we're still not working together to make something beautiful, not on a large scale anyways. There are a lot of great small communities I know, especially like intentional communities in the United States that you won't see them on the news because they're living off grid. But they've got it, they're doing great things for themselves and the people around them. I feel guilty having to ignore the suffering of others to continue with my own life, but it's not really truly ignoring, I guess. It's just not dealing with it in my conscious awareness all the time. I just can't handle thinking about such sad things outside of my control. I mean, I'm not about to get weapons or anything like that, or attack any government facility, though I would love if other people did, because it's kind of what needs to be done. But it's the bystander effect in full swing, I guess. We're all like, this is so bad, someone ought to do something. And then no one does anything, and then we have a dictator. So, as guilty as it may make me feel, I'm gonna keep trying to live my own little slice of paradise. It's hard. I feel privileged to do so. And that privilege feels like a burden sometimes. Just knowing that little children are in cages in the United States is devastating, I think, to any normal person with a decent heart and lack of sociopathic tendencies. Yeah, I just wanted to check in with anyone. I'm kind of rambling. I don't know if there is a point. I just wanted to say a bunch of things. So I don't shut the fuck up. But yeah, I hope anyone out there feeling guilty about trying to be happy, give yourself some grace, give yourself some slack. This is for me too, me to myself, I guess. It's okay to keep trying to be happy. You don't owe your sadness to anyone, though it can feel that way, you know, just like to life, karmically, like, oh, look at the disaster humanity has made. I'm part of this. I should feel like shit. Even though I, as an individual, have not, you know, deported people and torn children from their parents. I'm still part of the people doing it, you know. I'm American even, or just humanity in general. I feel like we are truly only ever as good as our lowest common denominator, and that means we're shit. People think that, well, I feel like a lot of people think that humans are like the smartest animals on the planet. I think we're the dumbest animal on the planet. We're the only one that doesn't know how to live in harmony with the rest of everyone else. We are the minority. Sure, there's billions of us, but you know how many ants and trees and blades of grass and deer there are? Heck of a lot more than a measly 8 billion. We're the minority, and we're the black sheep of Earth's animals, you know? No one, we like force other animals to be like our slave companions, or just outright slaves when it comes to like farm animals and stuff. Not to mention the artificial insemination, and a nice way of saying we just like rape cows to make them make milk, but you know, whatever. I can't talk, I drink milk, so it's just, God, it's embarrassing being a human, isn't it? When you really think about everything that we've done as, like, a species compared to, like, dolphins. Dolphins didn't start wars of genocides, you know? But I digress. Clearly, I'm not in a good mood today. But I'm trying to do better. Because, again, like, fixing the crimes of humanity is not within my sphere of control. I can't do that. I'm just a person. Just one of them. But I do think what is within our sphere of control is to just keep talking about what we see, what we feel, what we think, and hoping that the truth resonates with others. Maybe it's foolish to do that, but being human's kind of to be foolish, right? I guess good luck to everyone out there especially as Americans, and dealing with a fascist regime and possibly new censorship laws coming that will try to silence us from speaking. Don't let it. If we have to keep speaking and all end up in jail together, then we'll have the numbers in jail and we can figure it out from there, I guess. But, you know, as an Asian American myself, I feel like it's not long before people like me that look like me at least, start being sent to the concentration camps as well. And I know if you don't really know what's going on, you're gonna think this is dramatic, but it's really not. Not in my point of view anyways. Maybe I'm just a drama queen, though. I hope everyone has a better day than I had, and I'm gonna try and have a better night than the day I had. Alright, bye.